We are now in the Now group, and we're coming today through Zoom, and it's a really wonderful platform no matter what anyone says, because we tried to work with StreamYard but it didn't work, and it's fabulous to have all these different programs and platforms out there that we can actually get over and get our message over and get out who we are and what we do. So today I am with Mette, is that Mette?
Yeah.
Who is the most beautifulest designer, and I wouldn't say dressmaker. What name would you give? Because dressmaker's too.
Yeah, no, I think it's a slightly cultural thing. I'm Danish, and I think we have very much this tradition of calling things what they are. So if you are a dressmaker, you make dresses. Where here it's got almost like, oh, but you're a couture designer. So that is really what I am. But I make dresses. Do not do alterations, because here often a dressmaker would do alterations also. But I just make dresses. I make beautiful jackets, beautiful clothes.
You do make absolutely gorgeous, because I've seen from Nadine's pictures from yesterday, and I thought they are stunning.
Thank you.
I'm just going to go straight over, I think, to Mette and find out all about Mette and these beautiful creations. So Mette, who are you and what do you do?
Yeah, so I'm a designer. So I have specialized in couture design, and that's I've got a degree in couture design. So that means that we make one of each, rather than, you know, somebody who develops things to be done in production units and big factories. And so clothes are very much made on an individual basis. So they're made to fit the individual and fit the individual's needs. So we really like to hear about what person is going to wear the clothes, and what event and what setting and everything, and then get it all to work together. So and then we design and make it together with the client, and then hopefully they have something really unique and very beautiful that they can wear. We make a lot of wedding dresses. That's the main thing we do. We do a lot of mother of the brides as well. And then we make things for when people have got sort of events like royal escort, things like that.
Wow.
And we also we have quite a few ladies that come and get, you know, a couple of pieces twice a year. And this is really something that I want to also speak a little bit about, because I've been in business now, near 20 years. And in that time, things have changed quite a lot. People now buy their clothes in supermarkets, and, you know, while they get their milk and things like that, people buy a lot more clothes than even just 15 years ago. But they buy a lot poorer clothes. They buy a lot of really badly produced clothes. And it makes me feel really sad, because I think we should buy less, look after it, and just have some good personal pieces that we can swap around, and not contribute to this situation that the textile industry is one of the most polluting ones in the world. Mm-hmm. I think it's the oil industry that's worse. And so there's a whole environmental issues, like how bad it is to produce both cotton and all the other materials, but also when we use it for a short time, it fills up the landfills. And it also is, you know, now we're a group of women. Most clothes are produced by women. And a lot of people producing these cheap clothes, they have really bad lives, you know, because they don't get health and safety issues at their work, no maternity leave and everything. So this is me just going on about things. But I really think I would like people to have a consideration for what clothes they buy. Is it something they'll wear for a long time? Is it something that can stand the test of time? All these things are really important to me.
Absolutely. I know exactly where you come from, because I do have some items where I had bought them, and I'm not exaggerating, 12, 15 years ago.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, and I can still put them on. I've got this gorgeous jacket that I can still put on. It looks as good as new. And yet, yes, other clothes that are, they're kind of like, you know, what is it, you know, when you just get rid of something. I mean, you can go out, you can buy, you can buy an outfit for £20, and then that's it for one night. So how long, let's talk about a wedding dress here.
Yeah.
How long would it take, and what would be the procedure?
So it's hard. It depends on, because we're just a small place, so it depends on what else we've got on. I always recommend you look for your dress 1 year in advance, because if your wedding is in June, for an example, in June you feel the same way about what's the light like, how much, what shade is your skin? Is it tanned, or is it, how much clothes do you want to put on? Because I think if you, for an example, plan for December in June, it's really hard because you like different things. In December you like candles and all this kind of thing, so you're in a different place. So I think a year is perfect, but it doesn't take us a year to make a dress, but a year is a good time to organize your wedding dress or mother of the bride, because it gives you time to plan all the other things around it, what shoes you want to wear. Maybe you have bridesmaids, flowers and things like that you want to sort of tie in with things. So a year is really good. It's really good to have that. Yeah,
I like that, because of course when you said a year, immediately I thought, whoa. But when you mentioned about if your wedding is in June and you are starting to organize your dress in June, of course you're going to be in a different frame of mind than you are later on. So it makes total sense.
Yeah.
So it's a mind thing.
Say that again.
It's a mind thing.
Yeah, it absolutely is.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And so if I came to you for a wedding dress, what would happen?
So I would ask you, what kind of wedding do you have? Is it on a beach in the Caribbean, or is it in a Scottish cathedral? Is it in a forest? We probably make quite a lot of wedding dresses for different settings. Like we've made one for a boat and one for a forest and everything. And it's really good because we can make them to the setting, so that on a boat you wouldn't want a long train, because there would be no space for it, things like that. So it's really interesting for me to understand who you are, what kind of wedding you're having, how to get under, like what's the vibe of the wedding. Do you want something really formal, or do you want something a lot less formal? That all gives me an idea of what kind of dress and where we're taking it from there, because I think it's just really important that the whole thing sort of tie together, and it's not only about how the dress is, but how you feel in the dress.
Absolutely. And I know I understand totally when you said about the differences about where your wedding's going to be, because I know, going back to Nadine again, you can tell how thrilled I was with I mean, I read her whole blog and I thought, I've got to meet that
Oh, thank you.
I really do. And because Nadine was having her wedding on Harris, you picked the Harris tweed.
Yeah.
It's just fabulous. And going back to mind as well, when you're actually thinking about yourself, when you're thinking about where the wedding is, you're creating that image in your head, and all these ideas are coming to you. I love that, because you're working from heart.
Yeah.
You're working from your intuition.
Yeah, that's it. And I think a dress in that kind of sense is never going to date, because it was what was in your head, and in that, it's not like, oh, see that dress, that was that season or whatever, that's never going to happen.
True. So talking about the mother of the bride, so would you guide the mother of the bride to have the same kind of theme as the dress, or just whatever she wants herself?
I think it's important that they speak together. I don't think that the mother of the bride should wear a really over fussy thing if the wedding dress is really minimalist. So yeah, I try to sort of guide it together so that they go together. But often people are very different in the places, So, but generally speaking, that's what I would say. I don't think they should be like a mini me or anything. It's not at all like that. But good to have a consideration for the general.
Yeah, that's nice, and you can actually work together. So what else do you create?
Say that again.
What else do you create? What else do you
So
make?
we love making just really wearable clothes that people have. You know, we have made sort of cashmere coats, and I love Harris tweed. We do a lot of Harris tweed jackets, you know, that people can have for years and years, and they're almost like a pair of jeans or a leather jacket or something that they almost sort of, you know, settle in to the body, you know. It's and I love that. I love the sort of, you know, how they sort of become pliable and fit the body better and better each season you take them out. I really like that. So that sort of thing we do, and it's very nice and good garments that people come back and say, oh, I still wear this coat or jacket or whatever you made years ago, you know. So it's nice. I know that they get made and get used.
You've just enlightened me actually to something that when you said about that for a jacket and you put it on and you keep wearing it, how it feels, you know, it molds to you. And you know, that is so true.
Yeah.
You know, if you've got maybe one shoulder higher or, you know, or some sort of.
We all do. Yeah.
Yes. And I mean, if you're wearing something, you know, every now and again it's going to fit. And that's why it feels so beautiful. I haven't appreciated that.
Yeah. And that is why, you know, buying good, you know, not, you know, but just good materials and stuff. They do that. Whereas like cheaper ones, you know, they just get shiny and limp, and, you know, the interior, internal structure and stuff is not as high, a high quality and stuff, so they just fall apart, you know. Whereas if things are made good, they just mold and just sit, you know, just nice.
They're part of us, aren't they? They're like a second skin. It's like put a jacket on or a skirt or something that's been made for you. It's like coming home.
That's it.
Safe.
Yeah.
So what is or do you have a favorite garment that you like to create?
Well, when I was at college, I did my dissertation in Scottish estate tweeds, and I was really fascinated by the whole Scottish history about clothing and how Scotland has got such a rich textile industry. So I love making tweed jackets. I love sort of little tweed jackets with leather buttons and all this kind of stuff. That I just love that, and I love the way that they just last for years and all that. I absolutely love. But it's also very special to be part of somebody's, you know, wedding day, as it is when you make their wedding dress. And you know, they'll never forget you. You know, that'll be a thing that, you know, is always there. You know, so that's also very special. And we've done a lot of brides, and I meet people in the street and I can't remember their name, and I'm like, oh, lace, you know, Chantilly lace top, you know, and it's just so nice. Yeah.
That's how you know. That's how you know people.
Yeah, yeah, that's it.
Oh, fantastic! I love it. And you are based? Are you based in Edinburgh?
Yeah, I'm in Cumberland Street in the new town. Yeah.
Oh yes, I know where you are. Yes.
Yeah.
So if I wanted a garment, what would I do?
So most people contact me in advance because it's by appointment, and then they give me a little briefing, you know, telling me what's the event and things like that, and then I'll pick out a couple of things to show them. And sometimes people bring in a whole wardrobe and say, I like myself in this, I don't like myself in that, and so on. And that's quite good, you know. But often they just give me like a briefing, and then I'll sketch some things up, and I'll have some fabric samples and things like that ready for our first meeting. And then we'll discuss how, you know, discuss the different sort of things, requirements and things like that. And then I will then quote a price based on this fabric in this style would be this much, and so on. And then we can sort of swap and change, and I'll show the customer will get a sketch of what I imagine that we'll make. And then I take the measurements and I take a deposit, and then I make a template of the outfit where she come in and try that on, and you know, see the depth of the neckline, see the fall of the skirt and everything like that. And once we're happy with that, we make it in the real fabric. And then she come back and try that on, and then the following time it's finished. So there's a few meetings, you know, but no, you know, it's not every week, you know.
No. When you say template, was that the images I saw of the white calico?
Yeah. And it just depends a little bit what kind of garment it is. Sometimes we use just a lining because it folds quite a lot softer, so that would give a more true shape of like a soft silky dress, you know. So that just depends a little bit. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Mette. That
You're
was
welcome.
fascinating. I've learned loads and loads.
Oh, that's good.
Yes, and should I find some gentleman that can put up with me and vice versa, then I know where to come my dress.
Yes. You're more than welcome. You're more than welcome.
So I ask everybody a different question at the end. So my question to you is, tell us one good thing that someone did for you that brought a smile to your face.
Yeah, I had a little thing about that, and it's so obviously we're in this COVID-19 situation at the moment, and I've been really sad to have to send all my staff home because obviously there was no work for them. And then we have just arranged, we have just had a sort of FaceTime call, all of us, and we had such a laugh and such a giggle, and it made me feel so happy because they've worked here for years and years, and I miss them, and I felt sad of sending them home, and it was so good to feel that they were in a good place, and and they couldn't wait to come back and make dresses, and so that was, it totally made my day.
Oh, nice one. And the thing is, it won't be long until everyone is back
I know.
chatting and coffeeing and all the other things. That's fantastic. Thank you so much, Mette. And everyone, and now that is the end of another 100 Days Facebook Live broadcasts. So I'm going to say thank you to Mette, and it's wonderful to meet you. When you say, online here, it's like as if you do actually meet somebody. It's wonderful. I love it.
Yeah, it's good. Thanks for the invitation. It was lovely.
Oh, absolutely. No, thank you so much for coming on here with me. Like I say to yourself and to everybody, I can't do these. I couldn't do my 100-day Facebook Lives here if it wasn't for you guys. I could sit here for 100 days on my own, but that's not as much fun. So I'm going to say goodbye to everybody in the Now group, and I shall be back again tomorrow with another Now member. So bye-bye, everyone in Now. Bye-bye.